My name is Balder Tankbold. I'm the team lead.
I'm Colleen Dimmer. I'm the producer.
I'm Riley Peach. I'm the lead designer.
I'm Joseph Chris Proud, I'm art director.
And we are here and excited to pitch to you Rhea. Rhea is a first-person exploratory game in which players may traverse an open world with a powerful form of flying. The player's mission is to uncover the mystery behind a crumbling city and the fall of its previous inhabitants through discovering pieces of the narrative embedded in the environment. As players will traverse this environment, it will continue to deteriorate around them, closing off some areas but opening others. This will be developed on a PC with the Unreal Development Kit.
Great, so let's talk about exactly what you do in Rhea. One thing is that Balder mentioned is that it centers around a movement mechanic. We really want to give players a great sense of control that's easy to approach right off the bat. It takes a little bit of time to master so they can get some really great movement out of the game. Additionally, we want to feel powerful. We want to have an impact on the player the moment that the controller is put in their hands. SSX is a great example of something that does this with movement. On top of movement, we also have a relationship between exploration and encounters. Exploration is basically learning more about the environment and using discovery as an objective. That affects encounters because as you explore the environment and learn more about the world around you, you're going to come across things that change up the pace. As you explore, you're not going to be flying, you're going to be walking around, but you can always have the option of using flight. It's going to be in an open world, and all of the encounters that you come across are going to be very unique interactions. They're going to be different from one another and are really going to apply the movement mechanic as well as some other unique interactions that we really want to incorporate. Finally, here are just some examples of things that we're going to have and some concept art that we have of some different types of encounters, whether it's chasing a shadow through some ruins, or it's creating a trail as you fly to block things that are coming at your path.
Right, so narrative. When players open their eyes into the world of Rhea, they're going to see this beautiful cliffside civilization that's reminiscent of classical Grecian society. And these people have discovered this new resource that allowed them to harness the power of flight and take to the skies. But in a catastrophic event, they lose this power, and the civilians literally start falling out of the sky. So by the time that you, the player, enter the world, you don't have any knowledge of this civilization, and it's completely abandoned at this point. So it's really up to you to navigate through the environment and get cues from the environmental narrative to figure out what happened and why the power left and why it's back now.
Hey, so I'll talk a bit about art. I just want to show a couple images from Castle in the Sky. This is a really good environment and emotion to it that we're really looking to pull out in this game. You can see these are very striking images from the film. And we're working on concept art already. So we have 2 people from El Cab right now making some great stuff. Really shows the direction we want to go with our game. Looks great. And a Sky with the presentation as well. So we're looking at a render target of Shadow of the Colossus. Pretty easy to hit with the UDK engine. So, we got great effects, we got great texture budgets. So it's going to look probably better than this actually. So to sort of take on the number of art assets we're going to have to make for this game, we're going to have a modular pipeline. That means that everything's going to be snapped to a grid. Designers can take these parts, we have to only create so many art assets that designers can use and make levels out of. So say, make a few bricks, it's going to make a wall. And then from that, you create these things that are snapped to a grid. They're very easy to create levels. You can always go in and change them without messing up the level design that the designers have set up.
Great, so let's talk about how we're going to innovate. One big thing that we're really excited to be doing is we're going to be using the Oculus Rift. It's a fantastic device that creates a huge impact on the people that use it, and we think that it's going to really allow the movement mechanic to be embellished through it, and it really has a great effect on people. If you guys haven't seen this, is an adorable video of a 9-year-old woman who's using the Rift for the first time, and it has such an effect on her, and we really want to engender that for our players. Additionally, sometimes there's the problem with experiential and exploration games that when you're describing them, they can sound similar to other ones, or there are tropes that are similar through them, and we really want to stand out. That's a big goal of ours. One way of doing that is that we're going to be having an open world with an extremely non-linear narrative and non-linear exploration. The player can do what they want when they want. Finally, we're going to have those encounters that I spoke about. They're going to really change up the pace from fast-paced movement to really thoughtful choices as you explore. Finally, we have this deteriorating environment that Balder has been talking about and Colleen elaborated on, which is that there's going to be, the world around you is going to be like a character. It's going to be falling apart at points, opening up new opportunities, but also closing off old ones. It's going to have a lot of give and take and always keep you on your toes.
As far as production challenges are concerned, you're probably thinking, oh, Oculus Rift flying game, that's probably going to be motion sickness right there. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to address this as hard as we can through design. So we're going to give players visual cues, but we're also going to use extensive internal and external usability tests to gauge players' reaction and address our system accordingly.
So just to redress the art scope issues, we're not going to have organic or character animation in this game. That'll help artists a lot. Just mechanical animation, which is either rig. The modularity in the kit system help. We don't make it's going to be a lot of assets to create, yes, but designers will be able to use that. And with the kit system in UDK, we'll be able to change assets without messing around with their levels. So artists at any time through the production, they can gray box levels. We go in and change those assets. It looks beautiful and it'll work out perfectly.
Goals and scope. So our big focus is to get all the pre-production done during summer. We really want to build up our team dynamic then, get really good communication channels and pipelines going, so that when we step in fall, day one, we can start production. As for a production schedule, we're hoping first semester to focus on gameplay and feature development, so that for demo day one, we'll have all our major features locked in and polished. With 2 to 3 polished environments, it's looking to be about 3-minute experiences each. Then for semester 2, we're going to shift to content development, really focusing on building out the game. We're looking then at an 8-minute polished experience, but with the potential for extended play.
As far as team goes, currently we are aiming to have a small but very tight-knit team of devoted individuals. This is a passion project, and right now we are composed of members that have worked on projects such as Scrapyard, Project Holodeck, Forest Walkers, and House of Cards. And this is our current team composition. Moving on, we have Kelly Santiago as one of our industry advisors, and we also have advice coming in from other people from companies such as Blizzard Entertainment, Industrial Toys, Microsoft, and Rockstar Games. And right now, we're going to transition to an art demo.
Alright, so this is something I made over the past week in UDK. It shows the modular pipeline we're going for. There's only actually 6 assets in the scene, but I've combined all of them to create, this actually very large scene. These are all made from scratch, normal maps, vector maps. It's all in there. It looks beautiful. It's very easy to make beautiful things in the UDK engine. You can see, we're just going to show you the assets. So it would, it's all there. It's very easy to do. Designers can do it. Use this stuff very easily.
We're also going to transition to a gameplay demo as well.
Great, so we're just going to show you a little bit about what exploration into an encounter might look like. We're going to show you kind of walking around a bit and then see what happens after.
So to intro this, one of the encounters that we envisioned, or exploration encounter combos, is the player finds himself walking across a crack in a cave, and it leads to an even larger cave. And I guess that's how you start. Here we go.
So this scene, kind of like how Nielsen described his own scene, is that this is made up actually only of about 3 or 4 different rock assets, but we're still able to create a rather large environment and make it really shine with a lot of great lighting and different visual effects. So here we have our first encounter, in which you're given the power of flight for the first time.
So we're going to be flying through and trying to dodge different rocks that are going to be hitting us like that, and hopefully getting through it. So this is just one of many moments that we really want to give the player a chance to experience, and it's just a really short demo of exactly what we can do from going into from exploration to different encounters to really change up the pacing and create something exciting that's always keeping people on their toes.
And that's it. Once again, I'm Balder Tagbald.
I'm Colleen Dimmer, producer.
I'm Riley Peach, lead designer.
Nelson Preston Brown, art director.
And that is Rhea.
Thank you.
So I guess this is Riley or Balder, but you said you wanted to make it particularly unique and different from other open world exploration movement style games because they tend to all look and sound the same, which I think you're right about. But then you said you're going to do that by making an open world and by providing a varied pace of play by having this back and forth between encounters and movement. But an open world where people can pick which encounters they're coming across when they're breaking out of the movement will not allow you to control the pace of play and when and how it changes, which is sort of crafted experience you seem to be talking about. So I don't know if that's a challenge you've thought about or examined. And if so, I'd love to hear what answer you have to it. But otherwise, I think you should think pretty seriously about how you actually want to differentiate yourself from the other games in this space. Because I didn't hear anything that's particularly unique or different.
Absolutely. You make a great point in that it's going to take a lot of work to really create that ebb and flow that does make it extremely distinct.
To create that kind of dynamic ebb and flow that's going to really make it distinct. And we really want to, a lot of level design is going to come into play in terms of giving the player the opportunity to approach an encounter and kind of understand what's going on, and then always have the option to engage themselves in it. And if at any point they don't feel comfortable, they feel like they don't have the knowledge to really get the most out of that encounter, there are opportunities for them to get out of it and always feel like they have the chance to not fully engage themselves in something like that.
Okay, a quick follow-up. So I heard a lot of great stuff about the art pipeline, and it seems like very thought through and intelligent. But if you're going to have that amount of level design work, have you thought your entire way through the level design pipeline as well? And have you planned to staff up a pretty large number of level designers?
Yeah, it's a great point. So Nielsen talked about the kit system, which is going to allow us to really quickly iterate on a lot of different things with some assets that are going to work great in Unreal in terms of snapping to different grids. Throughout all of our pre-production, we're going to be doing that. We have currently 3 designers on the team, and we plan to add more. And we're going to be really expanding the concepts for these different stages and working closely with the artists. But on top of that, it's going to take a lot of attention to kind of envisioning what each area is going to do for the player experience. And I think you make a great point that it's going to be a challenge to create that, but it's something that we're prepared and able to face.
Awesome, thank you.
So I don't know if you touched on it a little bit in the presentation, I missed it, but the role of the engineers in your team, what do you think sort of the opportunity and or the sort of need for engineering is?
Absolutely. So the question was, what's the role of different engineers on the team? And we're really excited for a lot of challenges that we're going to be able to offer for engineers to add to their portfolio. One big thing is for any interested tech artists, we're going to be having this deteriorating environment. It's going to involve a lot of mesh fracturing and a lot of working with the artists to create a system by which the environment falls apart dynamically. It's going to really keep the player excited. On top of that, we have a movement mechanic that's physics-based that's going to involve a lot of work in terms of polishing that. And even further, the Oculus Rift, although it is very much a plug-and-play device to a certain extent, is going to take a lot of smoothing in terms of making it exactly the right experience for what we want to give players. And it's going to take an engineer really taking hold of that. We want every engineer to have ownership over whatever feature they're working on and really feel like that, that's their thing. And we're really excited to have those challenges.
So target size, as you see.
Target size is about like 16 members.
Okay. And then I have to be the one to ask this question, which is obviously I'm thrilled that you want to use Rift, but it's like not in your concept statement. It's so like is it a gimmick or is it really crucial to the game you want to make?
This game is going to be made so that it can be played without the Oculus Rift. When we created the concept of this project, we looked at the Oculus and we said, what would work best with this device? Because it's amazing. It has a really depth and access. And that's why we're going for this actual, very fluid, moving mechanic. And so really, the Oculus, this is a big part. We just wanted to stay it and give you guys a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, one of the connection questions is if you go look at what Project Holodeck has today, they've also had to play with the Razer controller. And frankly, I think find the Razer games are very good to play with. So hopefully we look good solution.
We will definitely be looking into that for this summer and experimenting with different control schemes.
One last question.
Level design wise, have you guys thought about how to kind of mesh the experience for experienced gamers in this interior environments and how that will push players forward?
Yeah, absolutely. We're always going to be keeping track of kind of how the player operates throughout the stage, and we're going to be planning on having that difficulty based on the deteriorating environment certainly operate based on how that player has performed. Additionally, we actually got in touch with Palmer Luckey, who's founder of the Oculus. Founder of Oculus and the Rift, he made a great suggestion of having the environment react based on where you look with the Oculus, and we're really excited to kind of prototype that and see what happens with players when they look at things, to always kind of expect something to come to life wherever you're looking.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.